because the...
At the same weekend, maybe? Is it the same weekend?
yes,
Oh,
next coming weekend, yes.
Who are you guys having at the conference?
That's the chairman and vice chairman, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where we once started in 1980. The small room here, and this we are using now for storage and for doing the first sort of collections coming in. So we are right now working on the BSRA collection from California.
Oh.
That's part of it, you know.
Okay, and what does that stand for, BSR?
Borderland Sciences Research Associates.
Oh, okay.
They've been in the business since 1945.
Wow.
When Mead Lane started it. And
that's where the Eisenhower thing comes from. Eisenhower goes to New York base. That was those people that were putting that stuff out. So
they were really the first Americans who were into private Americans who were into UFO.
Yeah.
I think.
And then the married couple that had their own UFO group for a long time. What was the Evans? No.
Lorenzen.
Lorenzen or something
yeah.
like that. Yes, exactly.
Coral and Jim Lorenzen.
Thank you.
you know your stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
So have you looked through these videos, or do you know what was on all these videos?
We don't really know. We are curious, but
You may have Eisenhower at Edwards Air Force Base.
who knows?
Talking to the aliens.
Yeah, we might have, but we're not telling you.
Why not? Let's just put
That's
out
impressive. If you got that collection, yeah.
Well, my colleague is sorting out the files from California,
Wow.
and myself I'm sorting out the files from Flying Saucer Review in London. You know, we got the complete files from Gordon Creighton,
Oh yeah, yeah.
who edited the Flying Saucer Review, and he was actually working for Flying Saucer Review in the late 1950s. So he did a lot of work. So much of the early correspondence is in his files, you know. So
it's amazing. I would love to look at
really
it.
an amazing collection, you know.
Where's Tesla? Like amazing stuff. I mean, just this stuff nobody's probably ever seen. Wow.
Did I take a photo?
This is a man obsessed.
Yeah, this is what I do. I mean, I travel to a lot of archives.
Whenever I see something with enthusiastic, you know.
Wow. This is all Tesla material. All Tesla material. Nikola Tesla, yeah. That's like unbelievable. I could spend 6 months here. Just, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Have you ever had government people coming?
Government people, yes. We had the chief of the Swedish military intelligence.
He wasn't.
He was here, and he after 1 hour of looking at our work, he said, "Well, you do need 100 analysts
Wow.
working here
Wow.
to make something out of all your files." You know?
Wow. And what did Jim Semivan say when he came here? Is he impressed with it?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
really.
Because
Really.
he's a major player in the game. So, yeah.
So,
But you also have students that come from universities who are interested in the esoteric part
Yeah,
of it and all these mysticisms.
I'm a bit disappointed that we are never getting students from astronomy or physics departments, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what really could make a difference here. If someone would take the really interesting UFO cases, like someone seeing a big block, metallic block, just flying through the air slowly, like this. It's not a spacecraft. What is it?
It's not a plane.
Yeah, and that's what the physics need to
they don't want to
explain.
touch it. They don't want to touch it. It's,
No.
Their reputation. It's
Yeah,
too,
but
yeah.
somewhere I would think, I would hope that there are some student who would like to to do something
Maybe
on
in the
this.
future, if now the exoplanets and all these things have.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I think they're getting more and more
Yeah.
brave.
This is the this is part of the editorial files from the London magazine Fortune Times.
Oh, 14 times.
We've done 350 clippings, which we have digitized for them, you know.
Okay.
They save up everything that they use for the magazine. They save up in folders like this, and then it goes here, and we are digitizing it.
But that's one of the oldest, isn't it? This
Yeah,
a
it's-
group from
yeah.
London
They started,
started in some.
you know, they started in 1973.
Okay.
That was a good year, you know. QFOS started, AFU started, and Fortune Times started. 1973.
So you don't have a real name? Like a German?
Yeah.
Really?
Every one of these files I'd like to.
Have you had any contact with those guys,
Beckley's?
Riley Crabb and Mead Lane?
No,
No.
no. But
No,
like here, like Beckley, I know Beckley very well.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been on his show numerous times.
Yes.
He's got a lot of stuff. I did all the work on Edgar Casey early on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, like all these files here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is all from these California stuff.
So we are now sorting this out so that we can make it available to researchers, you know, so that it's really possible to do a research. You know, we are getting files, you know, which are just heaps of papers.
Yeah.
So it's,
Wow. See, Paula Harris, I don't know if you've been in contact with her, she's done a lot of the work on all these early
oh yeah,
guys.
yeah, I know.
And so,
I know.
I mean, that's the thing is, she's interviewing a lot of these people now. These
Yep.
old contactee guys that are still alive.
Okay.
Do you got any remote viewing stuff? Do you get involved with that?
Oh, we are getting stuff on that, yes, too.
Because I've got a girl, I'm meeting with her on May the 9th, 4,000 pages of remote viewing material from, what was his name? I mentioned to you this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, I know you did.
He was the head guy at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base that ran the remote viewing. He was known as one of the Avery guys. His name escapes me, but 4,000 pages. She's sending, like I'm at the University of Manitoba, so she's putting it in the archives there, so I may tell her, let's photocopy it. It's like, this is a major collection. This is like with Ingo Swann and
Oh, yeah.
Hal Putoff.
Oh, yeah.
And,
You know, we are trying to desperately not to defocus too much
Yeah.
out of the
but these
core
are key
UFO.
guy. This is a key guy. This is a guy who was into UFOs, and he was rumored to have been in the briefing when Carter got briefed
Yeah.
on UFOs, and so there's these, even to digitalize these
Wasn't
stuff.
his name something with Gary also, or something like that?
Dale Graff.
Yeah.
Dale Graff,
Okay.
he was at the
Never heard that name.
Wright-Patterson Air Force
Okay.
Base, and he's the guy when Jimmy Carter did the remote viewing. If you remember the story, Jimmy Carter said it was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen in his presidency when they found the Russian plane in North Africa, and it was a remote viewer that found it. It was Dale Graff who was running one of the remote viewers that found it. And
Okay.
they recovered this top secret Soviet plane in the jungle through remote viewing, and Jimmy Carter writes about it in his diary, in his book, and said it was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen as president. So it's a lot of this, you know, and I don't really follow the remote viewing, but
What
remote
about
viewing is tied in. So
Yeah,
these very high level people. What's that?
They look very old.
yeah. This is really the problem. You know, we are always getting this kind of some of it we have to throw away because it's so.
But most of it you'd have to know. You have to have some
Yeah.
sort of idea of what this stuff means or
Yeah.
or where it goes
Oh,
in.
yeah.
You can't have just somebody who
You
doesn't know.
know you have to have the sort of helicopter view of everything here. You know.
You have to know who all these people are.
I don't want to know the exact details of Tesla's
Yeah.
discoveries or whatever, but I have to know
Where they are.
the basic things, you know.
Real.
Real, yeah. For dark journalist and Joseph Farrell.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Grant, are your
This
pockets,
is-
are
I'm
they
kind of overwhelmed.
growing?
You know, because I would go to the presidential libraries and I'd look for UFO documents in the presidential library. I'd go and I'd book into the Eisenhower Library for a week.
Yeah.
I'd be finished in 2 hours. There was none. And then I would sit there and look through all different documents. But here you've got everything. It's like I would travel for years and find nothing, and you got it all.
You know, we have 130 boxes here that came here from last autumn from the UK.
Oh my
We haven't yet opened them, you know, we haven't had the time.
So there might be an alien corpse in there.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows?
130 boxes.
We have another 100 boxes in London, in Bob Rickards' basement, you know. We are
Oh,
working with Bob Rickard, who started the Fortune Times.
Wow.
So we are using his basement for middle storage. You know, we collect collections from all over England and take it to Bob's basement, and there we pack it again and in good boxes. You know.
You need some more people to work. I mean, to
Oh,
because it's almost
you
like
say
you're
it.
getting
You
overwhelmed.
say it. We need, as the defense analyst said, we need 100 people to analyze all this.
There might even be some researchers who might, you know, like for holidays, just to come to help you go through this, because they know the background, they know the people and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yes.
And just for them to be fascinated just to work on it, because
You know, we are trying to like you coming here now, paying for hotel nights.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we are trying to. We are also using that as an argument for getting finances. You know, because we are drawing in tourists here.
yeah.
Fact-
Do
in
you have a
fact.
program, say if I wanted to come here and research, would you have a program where you would help a researcher know where to stay, how to get in?
Oh, we can pretty much advise where to live, and so it's you know, we have some foreign visitors almost every month, once a month maybe. We have guys from France, from Ireland, from Poland. We had last month here, and we had 2 guys from Netherlands, so we are getting a few from the US, like Greg Egidian.
No, I don't
You
know.
haven't heard of him?
No.
He's writing a thesis he's a professor at the Penn State University.
Oh, okay.
So he's really a professional researcher who's doing a thesis or a book about how the UFO subject was admitted into society after the Second World War.
Wow.
So he's researching on both sides of the Atlantic, you know. So he's been here for a couple of weeks using his camera.
So where would he stay? Would he stay in a hotel?
He
or-
was staying in the hotel that we
Okay.
recommend here. It's right across the park, more or less.
Wow. Because you know, I did a book on Eric Walker, who was the former president of Penn State University. I was at Penn State Archives.
Aha.
So I wrote a whole book. So I'm surprised I didn't know about this guy. But
Huh?
Walker, the former president of Penn State, you knew exactly what was going on.
Greg has I think he has a low profile, you know, especially
Oh, yeah.
in UFO circles. So
Yeah, but
it's-
it's kind of interesting that somebody from Penn State is doing UFO stuff. Because I had a guy who graduated from journalism at Penn State, and he wrote the book, and I did the research on it.
okay.
And we chased the former president for 8 years. We chased him around trying to get him to talk and stuff, and put out 2 books on him. So
Okay. We have to tap your memory for our archives. That's the fair.
You can donate your brain for future research for the archive. Someday they'll learn to tap into it.
that's like you pick
Isn't
up
it
every
mine?
file. You look at every file. Oh, hell, I think read this whole file.
I would stay there for years and years.
Like all the fry stuff and all these files from the early 1950s. You know,
Exactly. Watch out.
Oh.
We're going for a ride almost.
Yeah. I'm always being, using the bike is my transportation here between our.
Home
So
and home.
I'm always getting angry voices behind me. We have that facility too, where we keep one of our libraries. That's on psychology, sociology, and conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, you do.
So we have quite a lot of the Kennedy stuff.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah.
they were big in the United States. Kennedy assassination stuff.
You couldn't believe that there were so many books about the Kennedy
Yeah.
assassination.
Wow. Yeah, you might get some Kennedy assassination people up here. They're really go to a lot of stuff.
Tinfoil hats.
Even I was telling them I was dealing with dark journalists. Library. I don't know if everybody's
Okay.
see it.
Didn't turn out well.
House units.
Ja. Og ret, det er nok også godt.